I think I've said this in my previous interviews before I came out. The voting process, I have to say, in front of us was transparent. But what has transpired before the voting process is what we are questioning. Everything was just wrong. First of all, you cannot amend constitutions on the day of elections. That is one. And even the voting of the amendment, you need two-thirds majority. The two-thirds majority of the 77 delegates is 51. I was not in, but they had 46 and then they accepted it. That is another one, because most of these stakeholders have been intimidated. Now, every congress that you attend in the Gambia Football Federation congresses, the seating arrangements are conducted, they are done by the electoral committee. And the seating arrangements are done in such a way they are labeled. All the clubs are sitting on one side, the regions are sitting on one side. But we know what happened last night. The executive of the GFF invited these stakeholders. They asked them all to sit in one side so they can pay attention to what they're doing, read their body language. They amended the constitution this morning, and that was an indication for them to see whether they have the votes or not. And most of these stakeholders are not as strong as some of us are to be able to come out to say this is where we are, associating ourselves with. That is also another thing. You're banning me from coming in. It was an extraordinary AGM before the electoral Congress. The chairman of the electoral committee is the one who's banning me from coming for the extraordinary AGM. That is not within his scope because he wasn't chairing that. It is President Bajo who was chairing the electoral process, the extraordinary AGM. So why would the security stop me from coming in?
Was the move in line with the constitutional?
It wasn't, but they wanted to provoke me to do something, to react, and do something which Team Restore Confidence wouldn't do. When we embarked upon this campaign, we said we'll campaign based on decency and respect. And that is what we have done. If you look at the whole thing, coming into this, we said we want to stimulate interest and passion, to increase stakeholder participation, bring football and its benefits to the doorstep of every Gambian. We have achieved the stimulation of the interest and passion. Everybody knows. At no point has there ever been this much interest in our football. Now, if the GFF leadership decides to play all the dirty politics to get the stakeholders to sit on one side so they can change them and get them to vote for them, it is their right for the stakeholders to vote anywhere. But the next 4 years, we are all here and we will see what we will go through with our football.
Are you going to challenge the results?
Well, my team and I just got out of it because some members had left, before this. We are meeting tomorrow and we will discuss this. And I can tell you, we have a particular stakeholder who had given us their word. They came to us. We gave them balls. We were supportive of them. I think because out of fear, the particular stakeholder wrote their name on the voting. They had to discard that. They wrote their name and voted President Bajo. And that was Medical FC. We saw that. So, things like that, maybe because those were with us. I have messages where they are assuring me of support, even last night. So if you come today, you vote somebody else, which means, I don't even want to go there. Our sense of honesty should be questionable. So we respect that. It is their decision. They are at liberty to choose whoever. But again, we will all enjoy whatever it is that the GFF leadership will bring for us in the next 4 years. Football is in my DNA, though. I'm not going anywhere. I'm now associated with young Africans, and I will continue to do that.
We have seen your team not accepting any position from the GFF executive. Why?
Which executive?
This recent executive.
No, but how we went for elections, we lost. How we can accept?
No, for the positions, I mean.
No, we didn't decline any position. What they did was the voting process was long. The president alone, the voting process for the presidency was long. So they thought rather than wasting our time, they just withdrew their candidature. That was it. They didn't say they're not accepting any position. Position is when you're being offered something to take. But this was something that they were going to vote for. When we went, we saw that they had the higher number, they had the majority, and we knew the mindset. Because when I came in, I saw the seating arrangements. I know that was why they had to block me from coming in the beginning. Because looking at the seating arrangement, as I said, most of them were sitting in one corner. So if you see the way that was done, I know something was wrong, and it was their choice to do that.
Are we expecting you to come back for the next 4 years?
Waaw bu ma ñëwee fii tey si suba 7:45 dañ ma tere duga because lu ñu wax ne ñu ne electoral committee chairman bi moo ne woon waruma duga te time boobu noonu nekkuñ si election process bi sax si extraordinary congress process bi la mooy fu ñoo amendé constitution bi ñun loolu lañ njëkk a amal problème sax because doo xaar ba si election ngay amend constitution di isi position boo xam ne yow yaa isi female position ñun amuñ opportunité bu indi la xam nga ne loolu fi out because su fekkoon ne you really wanted to do that dang doon war a create loolu noonu earlier on ñun ñu create that ñun ñu isi nit kuy taxaw contest boobu position boobu waaye yow da nga teg jël nit boobu noonu mu nekk sa executive den nga ñëw tey pour def constitutional amendment boobu noonu so you know di dox si may ni gars yi pour wol leen ne waaw expect ma ne soo leen ñëwee fii di ngeen reject loolu noonu it was wrong a level playing field would have been to do that ñëw naa fii ñu ne du ma mun a duga and I had to follow the law I said I wasn't moving they pushed me out.
ñu dégg rek démb si guddi ñi nga xam ne tey ñoo doon contexte ak yow di team Kaba démb si guddi dañ doon meeting boobu est-ce que bokkul tamit di la gën a gàllankoor.
well I don't think so because xam nga stakeholders yi tamit soo laajee gars yi ñoom seen boppam ñoo leen soo leen ne dégg naa demoon nga fii dañ leen ne waa xam nga kilifa la moo ma oo ba pare bugguma ñu jël suma points wala bugguñ ma ñu def ma lii because of am na stakeholders yi yoo xam ne tamit ñoom yooyu lañ dee xool dañoo jël suma point dinañ ma disadvantage dinañ ma def léeg-léeg ne le so dañoo ne non dañoo dem rek ñu déglu waaye bii moom xam nga dooma wax ne dama demoon rek déglu yow yaa votal sa boppa waaye xam nañ ne buñ fa demee am na lu fa xew ñun déglu nañ recording si because of recording bi koo dégga wax nañ leen ne su ñëwee ñu toog as a group ñu vote as a bloc wala ñu vote as a group parce que even bu ñëwee sax bu ñu waxee bloc voting bi suma gars yi dañ bañ because of man di fak ne ñu ne man am not a delegate am just a candidate suma limitation dama am limitations as to what I can engage in they did this on purpose because there are a lot of things that you can expose so the fact ne man ñëw ma sa delegate I couldn't have fight for some things am na points yu ma raise foofu noonu because maa ngi koy wàccee man ma ne ko yaa ngi wax ne member waaye am na portion bu ñu wax ne he or she has to come forward and cast their vote waaye loolu yëpp dañ doon def loolu pour intimidate voters yi because some of voters yi nii am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi leen a wax ne waaw soo ñëwee dañ la jox match commissioner dinañ la def lii man suma taat vice président bi ñu dañ ko call mu ngi ko amoon record di ko wax naan ko waaw bàyyil ñi nga ñëw ñu def la chairman of First Instance Board so those coercion tactics la gars yi doon use xam nga ñun buñ doon joxe balls to clubs yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko soxla ñu ngeen ne ñun ñu ngi lifin clubs yi but we had to do that.
ñeneen ci at yi di ñëw tamit ndax tamit dañ ci fas yéenee bokk ci ñeneen ci at yi ni di rombee da dinañ bàyyi waat xel ne Sadib dina ñëwaat pour élection.
waaw football si man la nekk man maa ngi si football te maa ngi Young Africans so obviously dama play suma part Young Africans waaw loolu moom you cannot take that because man maa ngi si football man awma beneen engagement ma def after work is football. waaw. Thanks.
Comme Ali a mentioned, Ali Sadib Moila, come come I think it's mature for everybody.
Officer. ba tey ñu ngi taxaw ci nga xam ne mooy suñu oncle di Willy Abraham oncle nuyu nañ la.
jërëjëf na ngeen def.
di leen di congrats ci beneen yoon waat. daanaka sax xam nañ ne mbiri élection la. métti na méttiwaay bi nga xam ne ni fokk na rek weesu na ko tey dañ leen tabaat ci ñeneenti at yi di ñëw ci kanam lan ngeen ñu paree defal ci wàllum sport bi.
sport bi li ma njëkk a wax mooy. congratulate suma président Kaba Bajo. ba pare congratulate tam Sadibou. pour ñëw na wane na everything possible pour élection si dem well ak mu jeex si jàmm léegi li des mooy balaa ñoo commencé wax bi mooy football ñun ñi si nekk bari wuñ ñiy ron football si dëkk bi dañoo ñëwaat back together ñu liggéey ñu dem kanam loolu mooy the most important thing because Willy moom kenn mënut a ron football Kaba moom kenn mënut a ron football Sadibou moom kenn mënut a ron football we all come back together Sadibou he's a young man. He has a lot of energy. Mom ak teamam, although some of them I would say that they are still new in football. Football dafa need experience. Man suma maasi have been in the game for over 35 years. Do benn fan or ñaari fan. Kaba is ready to continue and finish all the projects that we have. Dégg nañ léegi mu ngi announce that he has a project from the Moroccan government. He has a project from the Saudi government, which is all positive. Dëkk bi ñun yëpp ñoo ko bokka man moomu ma ko Kaba moomu ko kenn moomu ko ñun yëpp dañoo liggéey si football man I'm a key stakeholder in Gambian football si liggéey laa gëm kuy liggéey dama ànd ak yow ku dul liggéey duma ànd ak yow loolu moo fa nekk soo li xew na ëllëg ñu dajewaat si paak yi ñun yëpp ñu nekk si jàmm loolu moo important ñu dem kan.
Thank you.
Mature words are coming. I think this is what we have as Gambians. We always talk, but we come together at the end of the day. Yeah, more agreed. Aliajele, team Kamaso Diamuta, Ajele Fanang, and team Kaba Fanang Diamuta. But I've been in Kumfa, being a Kikilinti, being an Anyokang, so that Kumada Batele, Puka Tenturon Jairo, Gambian Kola. By the Alone, there is something at stake. That is the football. adun ning ilanyu fracas continuator abi issue le natla, but thank God that they have understand that we need to move. None of them want to allow Gambian football to go suffer, and I think that is one thing that we can count on them. We have to appreciate them on that decision.
Hello, Mr. Kamara.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Can you give us a quick analysis about what's happening here today? A quick analysis about the GFF 2022 presidential elections today at Paradise Hotel.
Yeah, I may not be inside, but it doesn't matter today. Wherever you are, you can be in. That we were following the social media. We were following what was going inside because we came a bit late. But after all, I think all the wranglings and all what we've been seeing on the social media all come to be failure. When I mean failure, not that team 𝒂𝒏 failed. They didn't fail. We thought that it's going to be a war, a talk of war. But at the end of the day, they have now considered to become a stakeholder to see the way forward. We've seen what 𝒂𝒏 just rightly said, and it's not in fighting with anybody. And we've seen the other team member of the other 𝒂𝒏. The same thing, Abraham Williams also is somebody who is a great stakeholder in if any camps he finds himself in, and he's saying that they just need to go and meet in the park and make the ball kick. I think there is peace here. There is no fighting. There is no ego. I think the way forward is let us all come together and make our game great in this country. I think that's it. Because I'm not that much. I'm not in the football that much, but what I'm seeing is all peace. Everybody is just seeing it as it's okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Football stakeholders. Yes, hello,
yes.
Brother.
Yes.
I'm 𝒂𝒂𝒃 and I have a platform called Camera Bar. So today, we find our way to come in here and see what's going to happen. We thought that it's going to be a fight, but at the end of the day, you voted peacefully, and now people are leaving. And I've heard 𝒂𝒏, he was not also going out with a fight. And I think you may be one of the stakeholders in the Gambian football. What is going to be the next way forward from here?
First of all, let me just ask, from which media am I talking?
Camera Bar official TV network.
Okay, I'm very glad talking to you. First of all, is where you end is where I'm going to start from. Football is a thing of bringing people together. It's not a thing of separating people. There is no space for hooliganism or being a bandit in sports, especially football. What happens today, it's a pleasure that it happens, that we went to Congress and everybody was happy with the outcome of the results, peacefully and amicably. This is what I just want to say, that Gambia is a nation of peace. Everybody knows us. It is sports that can unify us, but it should not separate us. Because the delegates who were here in the morning, up to now, are going to be the same people after today. Even had it been you, 𝒂𝒏, you voted for 𝒂𝒏, and I voted for 𝒂𝒏, or I voted for 𝒂𝒏, you voted for 𝒂𝒏, vice versa. At the end of the day, we are all going to the same platform again. That is managing our clubs and then meeting in meetings to take decisions to make the football move. So I don't see anywhere that we should fight. And I was not even expecting a foul, a sound. But football goes along with howling. Everybody will try to make his voice or his point being heard. So in that aspect, if we do it maturely, we are always going to be a successful nation in sports.
Yeah, we've also seen, I think it's one of the most fierce contesting in the football presidency. But this thing doesn't mean hatred, it means a challenge. Is 𝒂𝒏's team going to take it as a fight or bringing them together? I've heard him saying that he wants to see them all work together, but did he really mean it?
Yeah, as the president says that he wants to see everybody on board. And You can only respect a human being from his words. And as Kaba has said that, I know him as a gentleman. We'll continue on that, bringing everybody on board, or making amicably, making people to be more closer to each other. Because Kaba alone, with his executive, cannot make it move. Okay. Only. No. Had it been Sadibu also won, with his executive only, cannot make it move. It have to have the involvement of every other Gambian, either actively or inactively. So, but we have to understand that this is a thing of ours, and it's a thing that only a person cannot make it move. It should be the intervention of the government, the municipalities, the clubs. It's a diverse thing.
Yeah, we have numerous of challenges like football field. There are people who are not in football, but they have an issue with this stadium and the like. What influence will Kaba get us a stadium different from this dilapidated one?
Come on, like my father is not a football player, but he is very concerned about football. Because he says, if you leave your kid to go and play football, the hours he is going to spend there, you will be at ease that he is not going to be in banditism, he is not going to be a gangster. At that present 2 or 3 hours he is spending at the football field. So it's always good to have people involved in sports. And I know with everybody around, it will go. With Kabas, now he should be in a position to be working collaboratively with the ministry, that is the government, to make sure that we remedy this problem of stadia and work on trying to build on other stadiums, because we have we cannot be relying on one stadia only. As a young man, if you get married and you were in a single room, if you start having kids, you have to be thinking of having other rooms to be sufficient. Now Gambia football is growing. We cannot rely on only one national stadium. They can look at how to get other stadiums. There was a time that I was working on reading on the social media. I saw Samuel Eto'o with the UNDP. He's about to build about 9 to 10 stadiums with the intervention of UNDP. Can't we contact Samuel Eto'o and then make an inquiry and see the routes he took, and then we also follow suit? Or we look at the central government should look at the companies here, even if it is going to be a tripartite thing built, and then their monies will be taken out gradually as it goes. These are all things that you can do. Or a bilateral partnership with a European or Arab world, but a nation that is far better than us, we can build a bilateral thing, and then we can go on. Even if it is not going to be that bigger stadium, but we can have a stadium that is sizable. If it is 40,000 or 45,000, a sizable one, and then gradually we will have another one. Thereby you will have 2 sufficient stadiums. The more stadiums we have, as Senegal is also planning to build more stadiums, we can even co-host a Cup of Nations, an international tournament, Africa Cup of Nations. Those things all, you have to be a foresight, have to think further of what development can bring. If at all you build one stadium, the other stadium, there should be so many things that we can do, but with the intervention of everyone. They can even seek Sadibu, sit with him, if it is not always, but you ask him what he have in mind. If we want to do this, what do you think? He will advise. That doesn't mean if Sadibu is not advising, he did not like. And also you asking him doesn't mean any weakness. It's all about our nation. This is what I just want to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Jammeh, for this eloquent explanation. I believe that many people watching there, they will follow the same thing. It is peace here. Let it be peace at home.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Kamaraba official. CAMARAPAOFFICAL. OFFICAL, yeah. Yes. The camera should have BA, then you space official. Yeah. No, that has nothing to do with your mains. They are not stakeholders. Yes, Chief, how are you? Yes, assalamu alaikum. Coming natale pour kana kama be nyin togi. Ite la lonka mum nete ite mun lord la le soto jam.
Alhamdulillah kamara babara gabage. Ngala tendu
because mo do sinano any minute.
Okay. Ngala tendu atemi nyin lungu tan molla. Ngala la ko gamme football be nyami alhamdulillah. So mule nyan to soro ya jelle itol mol sifat mu yalon kon tele tam timolti dal fanna kan timol finance ka ko rokeje woni lebelodo so mote bolana outside aya fo mole ko na timo ko be nyami fo momul nyanta mu elect la so ndal yalon le football be ndami kabin 2014 opto sai so kabala executive yakata ndol la timo abudana URR le wagadu is because of at the time ye fonko ke expansion ke dol nata so alhamdulillah so molben kumokang football man fuda passé URR to nyalong filo man soroje mu yalong be plalaje wa timo bolaje amu stebolati yaje CRR beje LRR beje nte mboda CRR le originally be kamba yayo way na sarahule tournament mun ka ke jang nga timo nyim fo moleto o ngara base kaba nasita ay mon advice ka fo ngata timo nga timo nyini yuara ma fonto ala ya ke ntara je sila samfolo la then molta fo final losta then samfolo nyam fala molta da mol nata o sangola ko de second division auto alhamdulillah so bi mu manifesta jang is like stakeholders itol ya lon na kaba ay munke because just 3 months back ndol be yala ko kebal mun ka borna silokan manokan ni nata ni gambia pleda ni mol winta mo mun ka fondi dindin keba abe kana manokan yala football o sap say ni to ko o say o manke nyarotate ebe mun nyarotate sang
so fe content because nga moy ko Morocco ni wala man sakunda diamrele pour ka wade Saudi o Morocco pour ka en studio mo mini studio mo
o metale anin ka baye partnership sodo federation ning Morocco Football Federation aning Saudi Arabia so alhamdulillah ni ajibe sometimes mulla timol kata Morocco la football la national team all categories sometimes it can more accommodate jele ngala filo use for free because of that MOU is between the Gambia Football Federation and them so wala ketanu so saying beya mo le jang fonkoto kabaya for stakeholders after ya elect alay aning Morocco la football federation ye bana sim mun sodo kato fo dara CRR in mun kada bansanti aning URR fanang aning Saudi fanang ye partnership sodo je mu yalon ko nyaro tala ngabet so alhamdulillah demande because ngalon la Gambia kolbe nyami jang na economy to be honest natara banku dol ko do mun kana mole for infrastructure mbuka natara government ye la national team ta 100% ten ko do mun kana fonko do infrastructure nga samba fonko do filol to ngedara aninka football develop why saying ko do man sakuna bina bukana 100% saying telephone ko do mun kana fon say demande use national team lo because ndel mo klingol le kana ko deke ninti mo manta play national outside nga fo GFF yaji so hada madu kay buka satisfy no
yamra Allah campaign kono team kaba challenge basoto je mi alon ko ka fukuton han Simon stadium soto fo wato ni miroti taraje sankaje ko way soto hanna sara ko amanke ko itelen de kata pansi bar ferol sitar landiri pour kaje ko national TV television fenke kendo soto stadium kendo soto
comme nga fo nyami yalom bulu fulo wala ka do ko ke bulu ko limba fenke no rando ibuke la sungol bedun de kuto kelo signa kele to nyalong mol nyanta katala le mol na national team mol play wa comme nga fo nyami fo man sakunda fanena because man sakunda tamu mum national team multi stadium multi like national independence stadium amanke JVF tat why telefonang na tara man sakunda partal nu JVF sita yedda ngoke nga jibe be nyoma ko nyami asli ko soytala nga major play yang stadium moto alhamdulillah asikenole why comme nga fo nyami fonse nya na nyoka ngage klindi nga doko ke has Gambian ngana jibe kamaraba o seniora
par senior salning team kama sole nyo saba akolata no mbari bidun sign al mo kinati bang pour ka joko Gambia la football eta
football okay is one language you know that is fair play neo jaja abe mo klinet football man mo divide political on tro ayna ay tambi so nimmu yake ka nyoko nen ka ke nyoko nen konen deyade if I'm way why ndole ala football ndeni ndole nyolong is because of football you know ni nyolo alhamdulillah bu nyamimbe moltema outside football lo sab aning e gambian kaya so alhamdulillah
abaraka bake pour kila watu ta kany explain tay congratulations
thank you so much
from doma ngida ibit ya kono bodo farore da tin a pleda wagadugu yele
Ibrahim Kamara
yeah it's my nadinda fala you know
abaraka bake
yeah thank you alhamdulillah I think this is a good thing to do maturity the manifest kanjambake all the stakeholders everybody talking ibeka fenne fo mosi men tano mosi aje ko men mu kairoti gambian kole ra sibula non no madro wajibe ngudum na nyaaju jam Assalamu alaikum. I'm 𝒂𝒂𝒏 official, and I've seen people coming out smiling. We thought you would have fight here, but it seems there is maturity that's overshadow everything. So, how was it like? Were there any progress?
Okay, I think you can go inside. We are not delegates.
You are not delegates?
No. We are observers.
Observers. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Maybe you can see the delegates.
Thank you. Yeah.
I want to see outside. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. So it seems that it's lunch time. So there's no fight. Pato sita. So imu delegates leti bang for imu stakeholder ti bang for imu neti jang. Okay. Oto imu gunjura delegates leti nga faham ko sankeng ale karteo file team Kabala winter. So pour gunjuriye what does that mean?
Pour gunjuriye amin da ngin karteo file wrong. Wati fomodo sewin modo elus. So ala Kabala tambendi bi atamita moniato. So wakang mankuma fo ka tentu ka yayi ala lola anin ala winola kaduae pour ala nyin sanjinani kote mo ay minnata ala sa atimandi ala sa timandae ay so kairo kono ay do go ke kairo kono ay sanjinano timande kairo kono
ngalo ne ala obijele but between sign se challenge ala diala le carte fight la wintale sign al telbe la fla kabay moneke gunjuri in particular le football
not even particularly gunjur banko mume bero do ko luminu commence tay mambang naji ko to hakilo be kan na miro be kan na kata ay kontine football of na ya yiru wandi nyami fo asita bila ise katake ye wo football ni ya tammindi wala ayta nyato yin kamala gambia bada dami ngana seyo ngata nyato wrong ngata koma
delegate from Gunjur Abaraka Lamin Endabo. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Brother, how are you? Fine. Yeah. Okay, I will delegate yala. So we'll go there. Today, Kundankolo nyao nyao balbidu. Mr. Kebe, Kebe, Toure, rather, yeah. Keba Toure. Mal content na baki. I understand. Ko atele mutim kabati. So afenti we know kere sign. You need to film sort of the sign, but sign. Mune belara la solda kan katu. Campaign ko do membe nada. Manki kaldoya. Barbidu. Kol do mune alonko modole afo. al hakilol manta kan gambian kol sulatalan ale mune parendir kewol sifal
alhamdulillah aditata akoleata atata adnata alhamdulillah sawo ketanye ko ya fo nyami tata murumuru ngolale ngalla moy stakeholder la ye woshi dal fo bari mi adiandi wolen ko tata dawda na maralal na nyaton ko lafta minna mol lafta minna ngabe no down le ngabe safere to nyalen election olen mobe la fina ko te soto no la 100% bara nga jiki ko nyin sanji nani nala ku jama be falina le nana da football karola inshallah
so ro sañinala ale amel bari ci challenge babi je bolom ñindi mo jama me yalo be mon football la ko la ñawña bari kam ne fodron na stadium because ndel me mandra football ko non ter kawole jeko wala ma la responsibility ngalo na man kala responsibility bari al fanasi ferol kenol kaje ko nga stadium so sa Gambia
yalo ni ko be o lalan kan definitely those people are not fair to the federation timina dia ni la finna fengo wala fon adun don tanyim bayel kono bari nga Senegal rebo soto jam mimbota nan kafe minkina da sema responsible FIFA sub-regional fonkoñe anin na kachan min soto no personally this was municipality so la do ko le nyim park solti central government la do ko le pour bayete min kata stadium oti mun central government fongola do ko le bari ni ajen tol dun taje man nin ko ni nyaajo man siay ka kumbo commencer junal dula soto bali anana dito nyata wo sita num FIFA e na tan jigindi ko be kala wato minna hamo warta jiko warta ka mutako man nin ko ka tabe ko fanta fe atara to nya nyanta bun nani lola fenomena ni tala bul woro ma wala abe ko yalla ñi len soto bari nga jiko soto ko kujama bije ñinang wo talatal na kibare dimal fon soto kambe campagne kono katumbe siaral wato be yuaral wato mina yara la nyakoy pagoni aya tara kabaya akumo fo no wosita no Moroccan Federation ole and Moroccan Federation I can tell you that for free wolungo fam be tara yuaral no na suto ila clearance so man na ndembe la clearance na tako ya acceptable they gonna finance the basic part of it so wolduntale CRR finance the same thing CRR the Saudi government is willing to come federation sorry Saudi federation is willing to come in pour make sure CRR fanara tanye bo pijo soto so as now we speak still nga 1.something million soto with FIFA mi alon ko entale mimbe laari nunje for na pending subject fonkol but atata nata stakeholders will diamuta football manke ko national political be nyame andon kabring minika koro dunde je main partners in football wala FIFA anu ñim FIFA wala ko dunta dawda ka kasabile every 6 months audit solo canal internal external ka je ko dis butut sa all in line ni wo mandum ko de tamuro nan ko tanke ñatuta wala ko kodi do ñin na exactly ni nata jandibe fennate la ka me so min nate adunta damen a senatal ni wo senata cinado ñin junda male ba julaida male ba takorodi la pour un place na pending 500 min tuta koma hamba so ya nata dijama auditing fonko man clair no otinal an kabrin ko ya commencer kana ade man lo ntol tarta bankol kono Africa min yalon ko ka sampulo ta ñim federation la ko ro ka tabi nyala na bonne ñola akatale ko am sorry to say molle da kam fe football mil da football ka sun dol bi je tol jela fon sanni na la ko tek football dum fenn ka balundi molle ka balundi wala woste ko lal ye klobol le soto e ke la fengol le ke je ke la katol le ke je ni lafte da ka football e be kafula wolema ama timo jama ba fata jang molle mara ngala no ye kol di ala ko biwol mallo so nin kelen ngol be lorim hali bi ka je ko timol balundi kana mi the bulk enough of it ning important what make the number wala ko mata and make a number ñi make wala ko nga invest on our clubs at the grassroots at the club level hamba regional level to ita fono la bi ita bi te man manke dindente jam kunu ngi tabata ndame yalon ko national football ko kelen woto ni na fa football ju bela non afrila ko ñinang Gambia be 70 years FIFA football le celebrate ñanta celebrate this year kabri 1952 federation no mi lota woni bitema ku jamal tata de ku jamal tata akata ñaw téléphone wultiro santa amba bar kuru ne division football moy adanta combo janne bari bi nim basse timo ko wonam basse aka na play second division oto jang ñina ñang ni duwal jabi tata ñama mbe ñi soto la diba ol kata play off wala abinala second first division. That's a big achievement. So minister la kumo bamboni dron atutete ba jela ni ndamena bare ko football montagne banko kan mbe do nakari kan
ali amwele woto mbe nganda bula je mela tele ya tele
ndabuga dia kamera ba live ya jele dia mo siata mbeten dur kala jairo kala delegation la meli katto fay voting rights to restore their confidence back again in the administration of the Cabal-led executive to steer the affairs of Gambian football for the next 4 years. To nyata being content battle. Media ndamen diam datenda ka fale ala baraka ale badensi. If an a little quarter men play nyabala in the media, you tagging me, posting my videos, sharing my messages and my write-ups. I appreciate it. This is what good citizens do. Regardless of our political affiliation, in this there is no politics. Sport is very unifying. It's different from our conventional politics. You can see the beauty of the game. You have UDP, GDC, NPP, all together in one camp. Me and Ablaisi say in the same camp is only football, and Kabada can do that. Not even Barrow can do that. So we thank all the electorates who have showed confidence unanimously. Out of 77 votes, Kabah got 51, one invalid, and Kamaso got 25. That's more than 75, two-third majority, my friend, approval. So that means that Kabah is on the right footing. He's doing very well for our sports, especially football.
It was tough. It was tough during the campaign.
Let's say it was not kind of tough, it was just noisy.
Noisy neighbors?
Yeah, because you can see the people who matter are the delegates who have the voting rights. And those people were quiet and we were meeting them. So that's why we tone down all of these so-called debates. It's not important. You have 77 stakeholders to get to convince, to sell your manifesto and your idea, to put it on board. You don't need 10,000 people. You need 77 votes. That's where we did our homework very well, met them, sell our agenda, and they endorse it.
Somebody just right to say, only 77 in the whole country? That's not fair.
In FIFA, you're talking about the fate of 2 or 3 billion people in the hands of only 44 delegates.
44?
No, 214 delegates for 2 billion, 3 billion people, the whole world.
So that's not the question anymore?
That's not the question anymore.
Thank you.
A requirement, it's a criteria, and that is how it ought to be. You must be a member to be able to have a decision in the decision making.
But what was your position in this campaign?
I was the face of the campaign. I was the field marshal marshalling the ground. I was pulling all string left, right, and center. Today I'm the happiest person in the world.
So you deserve a holiday?
I deserve a holiday 3 days.
Only 3 days? Pa, ate mu delegates leba. Mr. Faye? Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. This is Kamarabar. Anyway, you can say anything.
You go to the president.
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Kamarabar official. We've seen you've gone through a tough campaign, but finally you emerged the winner.
Yeah.
What is the next stage?
To continue. Because our motto is continuity, stability, and progress. You're going to continue the good job that you've been doing over the years for government football. And I'm sure 4 years, it might not be too long a time, but we can make a big impact during these 4 years, inshallah.
Kabah in the presidency, what would you want to leave as a legacy?
There are many factors, but to leave Gambian football state, that it can be pride of every Gambian. We want Gambia to be a powerhouse of football. We have enough talents in this country. And where we are now, there's nothing that can stop us from competing to the highest level. 2026, by the will of Allah, is going to be the end of this term. I wish before I hand over, Gambia would have gone to the World Cup. From there, I hand over, inshallah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Kamara.
Alhamdulillah. His wish is to have Gambia. Now you go.
Hello.
Kamaraba.
Muga sodo do galo ne otumo. Do golo be kering. Mashallah la team will tada win. For that matter, manke politics e barbidon be landi wonyale alla football fanando. Ni wadi sida do ngale control bo. Ali alla control je nyaadi le Gambian kolbul.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Nga tento murundi alama. Today yaajele menketa stakeholders melialonko wala ka football tamandi ngi nyininka sembola pour katra Gambia football nyato inata murundin kan ya murundin kan munetenna yen sanjinano men tambita do ko ye wala jibe anin ngamen landi pour kata mala nyi sanjinano men kata e be sonta ne kemebe je taworo ni woro ni fen lata kan o be kate o fayentolle nganyeta kontanta je bak andung memol hakiloda bambandi lako ngamen sa fena manifesto do kamara ba betamala wala
betamala wala woto akumade because jama mum be man tar because nyina alla campagne ni campagne do mamulu han min dati ja dabulaje bar jama mul sa ko na studio mo ngalo no fanantal kan bari al fanan connectale albe mun fere kala kaje ko sa Gambia fancy fanso studio mo sotono
na ne ajibe ngamen fo na manifesto do menketa infrastructure mini stadium mall ndolni FIFA ngol nga programme wala soto metamalo pro bara beter la je fanan pour ning Gambia government ya kacha ka jibe ka stadium kutolo definitely wa depasso tambita Gambia Football Federation la nga manan ko men soto bakele fam nta o kany nte wono la bari yes mo ferol se finale ning mansakunda tema ning banku dol tema ning na sister federation dol tema tumando baraben na miro kono anu lafta tamala wodlar yefem do fo fana kumayata ni electiono dolia sambad la dolto amam futaje footballo nim party politics wol manke kilinti ha banko dingol leka footballo tamandi wanko dingol la fana ngatra party politics bari adate je bi anu adama nyanta la je sama ne akrosi kamaraba mbe wato men kono sain kumo siata diamlal siata tumando demokrasi men ngasoto anin social media me alonko ay diamo sone andi modol ma understand buka use no latina dol mo jama ka diamo e malo ka memfo e ka mol tumi fenna me alonko amanke to nyati bari mba jamano le kono wala yatinna mol sonta buka mo en ka femfo fuje bari mo me entol long ni banko kan isalon kon te dunna kokuto men sa banko mo rondi ko
so kumata ba kele pour koje sa team kaba anin team kamaso nyo saba kele nyaw nyande mun bi je ko den pour kaje ko Gambia football yita
banko di ya badi ya misilme ya anin teria drum wala betamala election period atambitale sai ndol team damalle be football kela ndol lekasi pavilion kilin ndol lekata nyola kuoto kuoku tentol bala anu ko afata nyame be kumandila pour ye murnan mbe Gambia doko car football nata nyato mo jamma leke mona fanje ndol lafta men man lafta kamar bay dingo akata school akana football play ay dawol o edoko wala edon kata doko wala anyanta kila match not footballers bari momo ya lon ka be football wara referee len wo fa administrator len ngolen wo be o membe dia doko wala at the stadium so ranan ko lafta professionalize la sanji danta nyatonto isaje ko asikali mol employ football fanan will be one of the avenues me alonko asike employment and inshallah tumando ne ale nyosiama yani sanji nani mbe diamla la kotake wala mbe benna la kotake and wobe kelal
abaraka bake the first vice president memu bakari ke jameti ali amale mem fotro ngamira do nyanda mel soto la ngol soto le oto mba dan la lay janto mba flale ko ala baraka on camera ba official until we meet again next time baraka